Hi. I don't know if you watched the other video, but my truck battery died and the electricity went out, and I'm just here today and can't do any computer work or anything like that. And well, decided that it's nice to have this little chat on the porch, so thanks for being here. I don't know if you can hear, but the squirrels in the background doing kind of like the little baby cry that it does when it's showing its boundaries. And then I split the deck and we ended up on innocent infants with healthy havens beneath that. So, excuse me. So I guess we can talk about that. Let's talk about innocence. What do we have to, okay. Excuse me. We have nature nap at the bottom. Awesome. Okay, what do we have here? Tickled time, gleaning glib, ABC, cornerstone creations, bountiful beauty, excessive exaggeration, elegant eels, faded time, robust banter, windless night, spectacular stars, quieting quarrels, and nebulous noise. Lastly, and in the same light color, we have perfectly poised. So we have 3 rows of 4. So we have 14 cards total. Perfectly poised, innocent infants. Innocent infants, perfectly poised. I just pictured them sleeping. Think about the innocence of a baby sleeping. Feel that. It knows nothing but safe and loved and protected, right? It fears not. Is that what innocence is? Is a lack of it's a not even knowing of fear is innocence. Does that mean that they are not knowing of life? There are so many things we're starting to remember. It's so good. Do you remember that reading we did? I think it was I feel like it was a full moon reading. It was remembering what we have forgotten. Remembering what you have forgotten. Just a minute. So innocent infants and perfectly poised are heading the same direction. As nebulous noise, quieting quarrels, spectacular stars, and windless night. So this is how we find innocence. And I see it's in the northeast. So, infants, right? Babies, especially when they're learning to speak, right? Well, I guess they kind of do that from the beginning. A cry is communicating, right? It's a sound, like a hawk cries, right? It's the sound that it makes. It's what its vocal cords are set up to be able to do at that time, right? The vibration that it is allowed to express. So communicating with purpose is a part of innocence. And when you know no fear. Knowing when to speak and how to speak. And how to resolve things with being perfectly poised in that, right? Interesting. Hold on 1 second, I need a little water. Thanks for being patient. I have a tickle in my throat. Innocence. I suppose that is also a good acronym to do. Innocence. Lots of N's. I actually find N words to be sort of challenging to find. I only have certain particular N words. I see nautical and night are two that are coming to mind, and I'm looking down at the spectacular stars in the windless night. I suppose the wind says so much, right? And when it's windless, it's a very particular kind of quiet, right? Very particular kind of silence. And I guess infants sort of have that energy. You know what I mean? Because there's a purity around it. It's almost as if there aren't words, right, to really describe what it is when you see a baby sleeping. Like, it's because it's always an awe. It brings awe, right? And so I want you to know also that regardless of whatever's happened in your life, there definitely, no matter what, was someone who looked at you like that with awe, with amazement, because you are that. Okay? Yeah. Maybe it was the kindest grandmother. That love that was given to you then in that moment of awe, in your infancy and innocence, I see shall never be tainted. You know, not everything works out to be all the same way, right? All the same way, all the time, all throughout. But it makes it interesting. Let's look at the dice and see what innocent infants perfectly poised is about. In addition, the sun in Libra. Well, Libra is about a union, and the sun is the heart, right? I also see that, I guess, as souls coming in, say, through children, well, it's like, it's a perfect soul. Your soul is always perfect. Again, that innocence never leaves. That perfectly poised inner standing never leaves you, has never left you. And it's good to know where you are, and it's good to know that because there could have been things that happened when we were infants. It could be as easily as like someone knocked over a glass and it scared you, right? Some sort of fear from an external thing, again, interfered with the ultimate pure innocence of the child, right? It was now in this world. I mean, it could have even been when you were in your mother's belly. You know, you never know. It's hard to remember all those things, right? And we're not necessarily supposed to all the time. And usually, actually, the first memory that most people have, memories begin because of pain. So they say. And because before then, we don't have to, I guess we don't remember because it's just perfectly innocent, right? There's no need to, I guess, remember either because everything already always exists. Cool. If you are having a hard time, if you're working on your composure, right, in situations, you're working on your trying to come to this more pure place inside of you, the sun is, there's low sun, with the sun in Libra. So wearing gold like colors, like a mustard or deeper yellow, lighter orange, wearing stones that are relevant to Leo or to the sun could be very helpful. Also, just receiving sunshine is really good for you. I guess that also comes back into seeing the purity and innocence in nature, right? And viewing and knowing that your inner child is that, right? Let's see nebulous noise in the quieting corals. Oh, we got a cocked one. Can't do that. So we'll get Capricorn, Uranus and Capricorn. Yeah, so coming up with a smarter resolve. To how to resolve problems. You know what I mean? How to, but not just for the short term, but how to really solve things for the long term, which means actually solving the problem, right? It's sort of like Western or Eastern medicine, Western or native medicine, you know. One of them is a Band-Aid and one of them actually cures something. There's a difference between a cure and a Band-Aid. I guess that's what I'm seeing Uranus in Capricorn really is. I also see the N words are a part of, because there's a lot of N's in Innocence, and so those are going to be significant to you. I also see you should think about any people that you know that have N's, like an N name. Interesting. Because I guess there's a natural frequency to everything, right? And nothing natural, an infant, a flower, a honeybee, a deer, right? An elephant, a blue whale. They're all so gentle. They don't quarrel with one another. You know what I mean? They don't make unnecessary noise. Again, it's like a baby. It only communicates, and when it does communicate, it's literally trying to say something because it is important, right? Because most of the time, nothing really needs to be said at all. Like, I've been thinking, and I think a lot with having these wonderful furry four-legged dogs around, but they very rarely speak, and usually when they do, people tell their animals to not, right? And being silent like that most of your life, flowers don't say anything unless, I guess, the wind goes through them, right? Moves past them. Interesting. So coming up with smarter resolves on how to fix problems, how to actually cure things versus band-aid them, right? It's not a half-assed, it's an actual factual sit-down conversation, real deal. What can we do to what are some small steps, right? It's Capricorn, so we're slowly working to it, right? With Uranus, really great ideas on how to go about that. Let's see spectacular stars in the windless night. The sun in Gemini. Interesting. So we have the sun in Libra for the infants and the sun in Gemini for the stars. But it's Gemini, which is air, but it's windless. So then we just go back to the sun. Excuse that noise. We go back to the sun, which is about the heart and about children and the purity again of that, right? The sun is innocent, I'm really proud of what all of you are growing here. Did you know that? I am. What we're all growing, it's really, we're all doing, however we're doing it. It's a good thing, you know? Because I know you wouldn't be here if you didn't have integrity and curiosity and intuition and open-mindedness, you know? It's really awesome. That's what this means in Armenian. Across my wrist is open-minded, or that was in the dictionary I had that my dad gave me. But I think it was my second tattoo. Third tattoo. Wolf gave it to me. He was a Libra sun. Well, what's in between Leo and Gemini for spectacular stars and windless nights? So we have Gemini, and then we have Cancer. We have Leo. So Cancer is in between Gemini and Leo. Cancer. Which is the mother, right, of the infant. And Cancer represents communication, right? To me, Cancer rules the third house. And it's windless, so that it is really a feeling, right? It's like what I was saying in the very beginning. I guess this is the close of this reading, 2112. But the point is that it's a feeling when you look at a infant sleeping, perfectly poised, right? An innocent infant, perfectly poised, sleeping soundly. There are no words. And if we could look at all things in life like that, well, that would be quite spectacular, wouldn't it? Having a different conversation with our heart, you know, having it with the heart of all. The life and the love of all. That's really sweet. Oh, what a cute reading. I like these cards. They're really fun. Alright. Well, I guess that's that. I hope you enjoy the day whenever you watch this. And have a wonderful evening. I love that word, evening something out. All right, I love you. Peace out.